What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up these speakers with your HTS820. So the first thing we can do to set up our home theater system is set up our speakers. So we have the center speaker here that can go in the front of our TV or in the center of our setup. You also have two front speakers, a left and a right, that can go on the side of your TV or on the walls on each side of your TV. And there's also two surround sound speakers that can go behind you on the left and the right. You should see some stickers on the back of each speaker letting you know which one is which will help you when you're connecting your speakers to the hub, which is our subwoofer right here. So now let's talk about how we're gonna set up each speaker. So I have the center speaker right here, which for my setup today, I'm gonna place right in front of the TV on the top of our TV stand here. But this can go anywhere as long as it's in the center, so you can place it underneath your TV, whether it's hanging on a wall or if you have it in a media center like this one here. But you can place this speaker anywhere as long as it's in the center of your setup, so you can place it underneath your TV, whether you have the TV hanging on your wall. We have the mounting hardware so that you can mount the speaker right underneath it. If you have a media stand like this one here and there's enough room to place the speaker inside one of the shelves, you can do that also. And while we're on the topic of mounting our speakers, let's quickly go over how we'd want to do that for our center speaker here. So in this Ziploc bag, you'll see a bunch of different plates and screws inside. So if we take a look at one of these plates, you'll see we have two tiny holes here. This is gonna line up to the back of our speakers. And then we have the big holes here. And this is what we're gonna use to hang the speakers onto our wall. In the case of our center speaker here, we're actually going to be using two of these plates. For this, I would recommend you take each plate and line it up so that the two tiny holes here are lined up right against the back of your center speaker, so that once they're attached, you can use these big holes here, and so this way you can hang up the speaker as if it's a painting that you want to place on your wall. So to do that, take two of these plates and line them up to the back of your center speaker. From there, you're gonna take 4 tiny screws so that you can drill these plates onto the back of your speakers. And once you have those plates attached, you're gonna take this Ziploc bag here, which comes with 6 long screws, and this is what we're gonna use so we can hang the speakers onto our wall. Since we attached 2 of these plates onto the back of our speaker, we're gonna take 2 of these screws. If it helps, you can measure the distance between each plate on the back of your speaker and draw them up to your wall so that you know the exact distance that you need to screw in these screws. So once you've done that, you can take each screw and screw them onto your wall. And after that, you should be able to take your speaker and mount it up to your wall. The same principle applies for the other speakers in your setup, but there is a difference there. That being that you want to take just one of these plates and 2 tiny screws. Then you can take one of your long screws, screw it into your wall, and now you should be able to mount your speaker onto your wall. Now when it comes to the subwoofer, which again is the general hub for our setup, we have a few different places where we can have it set. We can place it right next to the TV on either side, or you can place it right next to your couch so you can really feel the low end of everything you're watching or listening to. Now another thing is each of these speakers have these feet on the bottom, so if you didn't want to mount your speakers, you can place them down onto the sides of your TV, onto the TV stand if there's enough room, or you can place them onto any shelves that's in your room. Just be sure to follow the guideline of surround sound, so as long as you have your center speaker in the center, the front speakers in the front, and the surround speakers in the back, you'll be good to go. And the best part is each of our speakers has wire long enough so wherever you want to place your sub or speakers, you should be able to reach them easily and have everything connected as they should be. So once you have each of your speakers mounted or placed where you want them, we can then connect them to the back of your sub. On the back of the sub, you'll see the audio output section, which will inform us of where to connect each speaker. So we're gonna look at the labels on the back of our speakers and plug them into the respected outputs on the back of our sub. So for example, our center speaker here is labeled CEN for center, and we're gonna look for that same label on the output section here on the back of the sub. Then we're gonna take the cable at the end of our speaker and plug it into that output. And then you'll want to follow that same method to plug in the front left and right speakers and the surround left and right speakers. So I'm going to take these speakers off of the table now and place them where I want in my setup. So the front right speaker is going to plug into the front right output. The front left speaker is going to plug into the front left output. The surround right speaker is going to plug into the surround right output. And the surround left speaker is going to plug into the surround left output. If possible, we recommend setting your center speaker and your front left and front right speakers to ear level so that you're getting the best representation of sound. You'll also want to make sure that your front speakers are angled towards you wherever you're positioned. And you should place your surround sound speakers behind you, but if you can't, you can then set them up to the sides, again angled. And if you can, we also recommend that you place it 1 or 2 feet above listening level for that surround sound effect. We have this diagram here to show you the best position for these speakers for prime listening, but if you're restricted by the space that you're in or if you have any other limitations, just set these speakers up for whatever suits best for your space or setup. So I've got my speakers placed the way I want for my setup today, but I just got my sub here in the middle only because we're going to be going into the back and making adjustments for the demo purposes for today. And once we have everything all set up, we can turn on the system by flipping the power switch on the back of the sub. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up these speakers for the HTS820. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.